What is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman, the third of GBP Daily, and thank you for tuning into the Rob Westerman Show. You can find me all over the social sphere at GBP Daily. Shoot me a follow. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you could. Hit me up in the DMs. I am always available to talk Packers anytime, any day. Today is Monday, November 17th, a Victory Monday. It has been a while since we have had ourselves a Victory Monday, and I don't care how we won, we got it done. So Packers are 6-3-1 after taking down the Giants yesterday, 27-20. Jordan Love was elite. Christian Watson also played great, and Micah Parsons slams the door shut to end the game with his strip sack on Jameis Winston. It wasn't pretty all the way through, to say the least, but a win is a win on a short week in New York. I will take that every single time. We did not escape unscathed, though. Josh Jacobs went down with a knee injury, and although it is not as bad as what it initially may have seemed, he is listed as day-to-day, and his status for Sunday's game against the Vikings is up in the air. Jordan Love went down and then came back, but in his absence, Malik Willis, the old trusty Malik Willis, showed up and showed out as expected. He has just been so dang reliable every time his number is called. It pains me because next year a team is going to sign him to a bigger contract than we're able to offer, and he'll no longer be with us. But man, has he been great for us at quarterback too. Quay Walker left the game with a shoulder stinger, and he said afterwards that he will be fine moving forward, so that's good news. Tyrone Tracy was shut down pretty much until Quay left the game, and then we saw noticeably that the run defense started to give up some chunk plays here and there, but nonetheless, we got it done. In the end, Packers win 27-20. We are currently second in the NFC North and the seventh seed in the NFC playoff-wise, and if the season ended today, we would head to Chicago for the wild card weekend. So I would very much welcome that matchup. So long ways to go, though. If you are planning on going to a Packers game this year, maybe you're planning on going to Lambeau this next weekend for the Vikings game. Vikings are coming to town. Do not buy your tickets anywhere else other than TickPick. They guarantee the cheapest Packers tickets on the market. And in fact, if you find cheaper tickets elsewhere, they will refund you 110% of your money back. Same tickets as everybody else, StubHub, SeatGeek, Ticketmaster, all those guys. And TickPick is still the cheapest every single time. Use the code Packers22 for an extra $22 off the already cheapest tickets on the market. Shout out to TickPick. I appreciate their partnership with myself. I use them every time that I go to a Packers game, a couple times a year, and I have never had an issue. They are the best in the biz. Let's hop into the comment section here, shall we? And as always, if you want to be a part of the show, give me a call on the Nicolet Law hotline, 319-242-2332. Family owned and operated since 2007 with decades of combined legal experience, Nicolet Law's team of compassionate local attorneys are prepared to meet your unique legal challenges head on. They have just shy of 2,000 five-star reviews and have helped their clients recover over $350 million in the last 17 years that they have been in business. Injured, get Nicolet. What do we got cooking up in the chat on this beautiful Victory Monday? Feels good. I know it felt a little weird and a little not so great during the game, right? There were some things that were irritating. Not getting off the field on third and fourth down yesterday was pretty irritating. I will say so myself. Dropping the interceptions left and right every single time. Jameis Winston threw 5 passes, in my opinion, that should have been intercepted, and we came down with 1. And it was obviously Evan Williams' interception at the end of the game. But, man, we should have had 5 picks yesterday. Got to come down with those. And the one that frustrated me the most was when Javon Bullard had it in his hands, and Isaiah McDuffie, the bowling ball, just ran right into him and knocked it loose. He had a pass breakup. Isaiah McDuffie had a pass breakup on our own defender. I don't know how that happens, but it happened. So My man Phil in the house. We need you to find in the barbershop by the end of the week. Phil, are you working? Are you driving? What is that comment? I get what you're saying, though. You know me. Once every, I don't know, couple weeks, 10, 14 days, I'm in there getting a fresh cut almost as often as Coach LaFleur, right? Comfortable with the play calling yesterday? I am. I thought Matt called a great game, all things considered. Aaron Banks, I think, is a positive as well. He's been pretty bad all year, and he had himself a pretty solid game yesterday. But overall, yes, I am very satisfied with the play calling. Even though we had a shotgun halfback dive, on 3rd and short early in the game, it did work barely, but I think we were just getting trolled at that point after what happened last Monday against the Eagles. But excuse me, overall, I'm very satisfied with the play calling. My man Clayton in the house. What a game by Micah. Yes, if my memory serves me correct, he had 6 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 3 quarterback hits, and then, the game-clinching strip sack on Jameis Winston. So, worth every single penny. Lisa, how many wins over our next 3 games? Lisa, our next 3 games are all divisional games, right? So hopefully 3. But it is not an easy slate. We've got the Vikings at home, and I think we can take care of J.J. McCarthy and company pretty easily, but never say never. Then we head to Detroit on Thanksgiving. That, to me, is a toss-up. If Josh Jacobs is back, then I like our chances. If he's not, it's going to be a tough game. Then the division-leading Chicago Bears come to town the following week. I will admit I do commend the Bears on winning games, and you can only play who's on your schedule, right? But I am not willing to say that they are the best team in the division. I think the Packers-Bears game in a couple weeks will be a close game. Back to the way it used to be a while back, where these games between the Bears and Packers were typically always close, always a hard-fought game. I think that one will be fun, and hopefully we can come out on top. If we win one of those 3 games, I'll be disappointed. If we win 2 of the 3, I'll be happy. And if we somehow win 3 of the 3 games, I will be jacked. A very important next 3 games for us, to say the least. Thank you, Lisa, for the comment. Appreciate you. My man, Moose Lover, Victory Monday. Love it. United Bates in the house over on YouTube. Victory Monday. Thank you for hopping in. My man, King AJ. Our last Super Bowl run, running back 1 went down. Our tight end 1 went down. QB1 had some minor injuries, and the Bears were leading the division, and all of our L's were less than 7. Maybe we got hot. Maybe we get hot late again. 1-0. Go, Pat, go. King AJ, those are some interesting parallels to make, and you're not wrong. I've seen a lot of parallels made from this year's team to the 2010 team for sure. I have admittedly also made a bunch of parallels last year. With last year's team to the 2010 team, there's always those little nuggets, right, that happen that are similar to what happened in 2010 every year almost. But this year, things are lining up similar, especially with the age of the quarterback at the time of their first championship, Bart Starr, Aaron Rodgers, and Brett Favre all won their first championships at age 27, and Jordan Love is 27. So, you make of that what you wish. Thank you, King AJ. Appreciate you. Clayton, tough to see Winston go out the classic Winston way, but when it's against the Pack, it's got to happen. Yeah. Winston was dealing yesterday, I will say. And I think he has always kind of, had his fair share of dealing in his games. He just was always throwing those picks, and that's kind of his downfall. What was that one year he had 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions? I mean, he's a lot of fun to watch, I will say. But we took home the dub thanks to his pick late in that game. And it looked like the receiver, Jalen Hyatt, just kind of stopped his route. So not even sure if we can even blame Jameis on that one. But we'll see. Raphael, do you think Jordan will not practice this week? Raphael, Jordan will practice. this week, I believe. I've not seen anything that would lead me to think otherwise. Clayton, Jordan Love during Toyotathon is going to be another masterpiece. I sure hope so. Does that start today, by the way? I'm not entirely sure exactly when it starts. I know it's starting soon, but Jordan Love during Toyotathon is the best quarterback in the league. Armin, how has Luke Musgrave not improved since we drafted him? I can't tell you exactly why, but it has been pretty bad, right? I think mainly he's not your stereotypical tight end. He's more so a big receiver. In my opinion, he needs to play in the slot like Mike Gesicki, and I saw somebody post about this earlier, and I completely agree with it. He needs to play the slot, not in line where he's blocking half the time or leaking out in the flat. He needs to be ran up the field, vertical. The talent is there as a pass catcher, but but a catch and run guy in the flat is not what he is. So he's creeping towards being a bust, which stinks. But at the same time, I don't think it's all on him because he's not being used, in my opinion, the right way. And I'm also just a guy, sitting here talking to you in my basement. So I'm not going to pretend that I'm 100% right, but that is the way I see it. I think we should start using him in the slot and just running him up and down the field, not in line, leaking out in the flat, expecting him to break a tackle because he's never done that. We saw it yesterday. He broke off in the flat, caught it, and literally the Giants DB, his hand grazed the side of his leg, and Luke Musgrave somehow went to the ground and fumbled the ball, and they called it incomplete, but still, I don't understand how, one, he doesn't get 10-plus yards and go out of bounds, two, how he gets tackled, and then three, how he fumbles the ball going down. It's not like the defender even hit his upper body. It doesn't make any sense. But put him in the slot, run him up the seam a few times, and see if we can get him rolling down the field that way instead. Because in line blocking half the time is not working. Thank you, Armin. B Staker, hope to get Jaden Reed back this week. Need another good offensive game and beat the Vikings. Jaden Reed will not be back this week, unfortunately. His timeline is maybe the Thanksgiving game and most likely probably the game after against the Bears at the earliest. If I were to guess, it would be probably against the Bears the week after Thanksgiving. So when we get him back, though, we're going to notice. We're going to realize that we missed him quite a bit these last few weeks. That's for sure. What else we got? Rakeem. I would love a Packers and Eagles Super Bowl. A Packers-Eagles Super Bowl, Rakeem. But if we somehow don't make it, I'm settling for no less than taking our division this year. Zero excuses. Packers and Eagles, Rakeem. I don't know if you're having a little brain fart here. Can't play each other because they're both in the NFC. I think maybe you're referencing you want the Packers or the Eagles to be in the Super Bowl. If that's the case, then anybody but the Vikings, Lions, or Bears. That's where I'm at. If it's not us, it can't be anybody in our division. That is for sure. Marcus, Emmanuel Wilson, good enough. Emmanuel Wilson, good enough to fill the void? For a week or two, I think so. Between him and Chris Brooks, I think we'll be able to stay afloat pretty well until Josh Jacobs is back. But Chris Brooks, and I'm glad that it's getting talked about quite a bit on the socials. He's just been rock solid in pass pro, specifically the play where Jordan hit Savion to really save the game late in the fourth quarter. Chris Brooks blocked the Giants linebacker for the entire time that Jordan needed to get that throw off. So shout out to Chris Brooks just being the absolute stone runner in the pass pro game. He's really, really good in that area. And as far as Wilson, he's such a natural and smooth runner that, he can carry the rock in our offense pretty efficiently. So I do like both of them to fill the void until Josh Jacobs does get back. So hopefully it's just for a week or two, but we shall see here what the verdict is later in the week. I know he's day-to-day, and his status for the Vikings game is up in the air. I doubt he plays in that, and we'll see if he comes back for the Lions game on Thanksgiving. What else do we got? Trent, is Romeo bad? Trent, he's not bad, but he definitely had a bad game yesterday. The drops were just absolutely killing me. I'm not sure what was going on with Romeo, but he is in a contract year, and I don't think he's going to be back next season, honestly. A wild fact here, him and Bo Melton have the same amount of 100-yard receiving games with one apiece. That is just straight up not good enough out of Romeo, who has kind of been our most consistent receiver over the last few years. So hopefully he can bounce back this weekend because we are going to need him. One last good one here before I shut her down. Phil, Marshawn Lloyd making good progress on rehab, according to Rob Demovsky 3 hours ago. Great to see that. And thank you, Phil. I did not see that. Marshawn Lloyd is still with the team. He's still alive, right? You don't hear anything about him for months, and then you get a little nugget here and there. Good to hear on Marshawn Lloyd. Hopefully we can see him at some point this season, because since we've drafted him, we have seen pretty much nothing, 10 regular season snaps against whoever that was last year, early on in the year. So, yeah, any Marshawn Lloyd sighting would be welcomed with open arms. Chris, sup, brother? What's up, my man? Just catching me at the end. That is going to do it for me today. Thank you again for tuning in. Always, always, always love talking Packers with you guys. Hit me up on social media at GBP Daily. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Any sort of interaction helps myself and helps the page. I will be back and at it again tomorrow. Thank you again for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys later. Thank you.